For years, Manchester United fans have been asking the same question. Where is the next dominant midfield signing? Where is the player who can finally bring balance, intensity, control, and energy back to Old Trafford? Now, one name is starting to rise louder than ever before: Ederson. Not the goalkeeper from Manchester City, not a flashy social media superstar, but the Brazilian midfield machine currently dominating Serie A with Atalanta. At 26 years old, Ederson has quietly become one of the most complete midfielders in European football, and now reports linking him with a move to Manchester United are creating massive excitement among fans. Because this isn't just another midfielder, this is a player built for modern football, a player capable of defending aggressively, carrying the ball through pressure, controlling transitions, pressing relentlessly, and completely changing the intensity of a midfield. And honestly, the deeper you look into his game, the more the Manchester United links start to make sense. Ederson José dos Santos Lourenço da Silva was born in Brazil on July 7th, 1999. Like many Brazilian footballers, his story wasn't easy. He didn't arrive in Europe as a teenage superstar with massive media attention. His rise was built through hard work, setbacks, and persistence. He began his professional career in Brazil with Desportivo Brazil before moving through clubs like Cruzeiro, Corinthians, and Fortaleza. Those years shaped him into a fighter. At Corinthians especially, competition for places was intense, opportunities were limited, and Ederson had to develop mental toughness quickly. He wasn't treated like a guaranteed future star. He had to earn everything. That hunger still shows in the way he plays today. Eventually, his performances in Brazil earned him a move to Europe, joining Salernitana in Italy. At the time, many casual football fans barely noticed the transfer, but Serie A scouts and analysts immediately saw potential in his physical profile and tactical discipline. Even during difficult moments at Salernitana, Ederson stood out. His ability to recover possession, survive under pressure, and drive the ball through midfield was impossible to ignore. He looked like a midfielder ready for a much bigger stage. That's when Atalanta stepped in. And honestly, that move changed everything. Under Gianpiero Gasperini, Atalanta became one of Europe's smartest clubs at developing aggressive modern footballers. Gasperini's system demands incredible tactical intelligence and physical endurance. Players are expected to press constantly, rotate positions, attack spaces aggressively, and defend with intensity. Not every player survives that environment, but Ederson thrived in it. Almost immediately, he became one of Atalanta's most important midfielders. Week after week, he started dominating games through pure energy and intelligence. And the scary thing is, his game keeps evolving. At first glance, some people see Ederson as just another defensive midfielder. That's a huge misunderstanding. Yes, he wins tackles. Yes, he presses aggressively. Yes, he breaks up attacks. But that's only part of his game. What truly makes Ederson special is how complete he is. When Atalanta win possession, he doesn't simply pass sideways and slow the game down. He immediately looks forward. He drives into space. He breaks defensive lines with carries. He accelerates transitions. That ability to transform defense into attack within seconds is one of the biggest reasons elite clubs are watching him. Modern football is obsessed with transitional midfielders. Managers want players who can recover the ball and instantly launch attacks. Ederson does that naturally, and when you watch his highlights carefully, you start noticing how intelligent his movement really is. He constantly scans before receiving. He positions himself perfectly between opposition lines. He knows when to press. He knows when to sit deeper. He knows when to burst forward. That tactical awareness is incredibly difficult to teach, especially because he combines it with elite physical qualities. Ederson covers enormous ground every game. His stamina is ridiculous. He can press in the 10th minute and still sprint back defensively in the 90th minute. That type of engine is exactly what Manchester United's midfield has lacked for years. Too often, United's midfield has looked disconnected. One player presses while another sits deep. Transitions become chaotic. Opponents run through midfield too easily. Ederson changes that dynamic immediately because he naturally brings balance. He's aggressive enough to destroy attacks, mobile enough to recover defensively, technical enough to progress possession, disciplined enough to maintain shape. That's why many analysts see him as one of the most Premier League-ready midfielders outside England right now. And physically, he genuinely looks built for the league. The Premier League is brutal for midfielders. You need strength, recovery pace, aggression, endurance, technical composure under pressure. Ederson already plays with those qualities every single week in Italy. He isn't lightweight, he isn't easily bullied, and he loves duels. Some midfielders avoid physical battles. Ederson seems to enjoy them. That mentality would instantly connect with Manchester United fans. Old Trafford has always loved hard-working midfielders. Players willing to fight for every ball become fan favourites quickly. Think about the admiration players like Roy Keane, Ander Herrera, Park Ji-sung and early Casemiro received because of their intensity and commitment. Ederson has that same relentless mentality, but there's another reason this transfer is attracting attention. Tactically, he fits perfectly into where modern football is heading. Football today is becoming faster and more athletic every season. Midfields are no longer built around static players who only pass sideways. Teams now need midfielders who can defend huge spaces while still contributing offensively. That's why players like Declan Rice, Federico Valverde, Nicolo Barella and Alexis Mac Allister are so valuable. They do everything. Ederson belongs in that category of multifunctional midfielders. He can operate as a number 6, he can play as an 8, he can press high, he can sit deeper, he can support attacks, he can recover defensively. That versatility gives managers enormous tactical flexibility. And for Manchester United, flexibility is crucial right now. The club is clearly rebuilding. The midfield needs younger legs, more intensity, more athleticism, more reliability. Casemiro brought experience and leadership, but age has started catching up physically. Injuries and declining mobility have exposed major weaknesses in transition. Against fast teams, United have often looked vulnerable through the middle. That's where Ederson could become transformational. Imagine a midfield trio with Ederson, Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes. Mainoo controlling tempo, Bruno creating chances, Ederson doing the dirty work while also driving transitions. Suddenly, the balance looks far better. And perhaps most importantly, Mainoo would benefit massively from playing beside him. Kobbie Mainoo is one of the brightest young midfielders in Europe, but he still needs protection and support physically. Ederson's defensive coverage and work rate would allow Mainoo to play with more freedom and composure. That partnership could define United's midfield for years. And then there's the mentality side of the game. Manchester United don't just need talented players anymore, they need mentally strong players. Old Trafford pressure destroys some footballers. Every mistake becomes headlines. Every bad result becomes chaos. The media pressure is non-stop. Ederson's career path suggests he has the mentality to survive difficult environments. Nothing was handed to him. He earned every opportunity. Players with that background often adapt better under pressure because they already understand struggle. And if United complete this signing, it would also send a message about recruitment strategy. For too long, the club has been criticised for signing players based purely on reputation or marketing value. Ederson feels different. This would be a football decision, a signing based on tactical need, athletic profile and system fit rather than social media popularity. And honestly, those are usually the smartest transfers. At Atalanta, Ederson has already shown he can compete against elite opposition.